Goldberg is live in our newsroom with what we've learned. Ted, what happened here?
Yeah, Leon.
Goldberg is live in our newsroom.
All right. We're going to get cracking. It's time to get it cracking. It's time to get it popping. Okay. Election time. Coverage. All night. Streaming. All right. Welcome. We are doing our election coverage right now. We're going to be here for a minute. So if you're new here, you came to the right place. And keep it humorous, keep it light. Might get a little heavy. So, make sure I'm camera ready. You know, got the camera shined out, got the waves popping. We're going to talk about a lot of election things. We got our bottle of Crown Royale for hopefully in celebration. Or maybe if something goes wrong, we might get a little sad and take a sip. So we're going to talk about the election. So it's been a crazy day already. We already know in Georgia, where I live, a swing state, we had a situation where there were 5 bomb threats that happened. 5 in one day at one poll, right? Then we had the situation here that we're about to watch. This was in Pennsylvania? Yeah, I think it's Pennsylvania. But let's check it out.
With what we've learned. Ted, what happened here?
Yeah, Leon, all of it's going down about 12:20 this afternoon, according to Capitol Police, when a 28-year-old man approached the security.
My bad, this is Washington. So, for those that don't know, people have been doing some crazy things. And I think this happens a lot of times in elections where people just get a little out of their minds. But we did see that this person had some things. I'll say that. And so we're going to see what he had.
Entrance to the Capitol Visitor Center. Police say he had to be told twice to put his belongings on the metal detector, and when it went through, they found that flare gun, those bottles, which they say may have had gasoline or some other sort of accelerant inside them, and a torch-style lighter. At least one of the bottles was leaking, and police say the man and his belongings smelled like gasoline, which first tipped them off. As he was taken into custody, he told police he had papers he wanted to deliver to Congress. Congress isn't in session today. Police say it's not clear what the man's motive was.
It's hard to tell. He had some articles in his backpack that he may have wanted to set on fire. It did not appear that he had doused all of his clothing. There was some of his clothing that smelled like gasoline.
You see, right there is crazy. He planned on setting himself on fire. For what reason? I don't know. It wouldn't have stopped anything. They would have cleared him out and they would have had it back going in like a couple hours. But this is what we're used to hearing. Right, this is what we've seen. I'm not going to say that Republicans is a party of hate. It's not. I know plenty of Republican people. I was just on a phone call with one of my frat bros. We had a little group chat meeting real fast, and he's voting Trump, and I love him. It's totally fine. At the same time, you know, you ask these pertinent questions about why. Like, what is the reason? Because I know for me, it's several standpoints and certain aspects that I don't like about, you know, anything that he's doing. And we're seeing this more and more as people progress throughout this political spectrum that, hey, I'm not all there and I'm trying to disrupt this process. We've already seen videos of Trump trying to say, hey, the election's rigged already, you know, with the Iowa polling coming out the other day saying that Kamala Harris was +3 in that state. Typically, these between 10 points or 5, right, for Trump. But in this situation, we've seen people from Iowa. We've seen more of them say, you know, enough is enough. I want something different. And so that's where we are with this, right? So let's keep going with this.
But not all of it. So it's really unknown at this point what his intention was.
At this point, police say there is not a clear connection to the election, but they're talking to him right now. That's not all we're monitoring on this very busy election day as we look for disruptions to today's election. D.C. police are telling all of their officers to be on the lookout for nails or screws dropped on the road near polling places or ballot boxes. The alert came after some voters in Northeast D.C. saw a man dropping several handfuls of nails and screws on the streets near a ballot drop box about 11:30. A News 4 viewer sent us these photos of the screws on Neal Street Northeast near Union Market. Officers were asked over the dispatch radio.
Like, it's never that serious. Like, these are federal crimes. You know what I mean? Like this is something that's gonna affect you for the rest of your life. It's never that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just weird that that's what people are doing. Because again, you're not gonna stop them from casting their ballot. They get a flat tire. All right, well, you know, just take an Uber. I'm gonna get my tire fixed and then come right back. Like, I'm not understanding why people do these things. And this is just in Washington, D.C. There are situations like this that are happening all across the country. It's just a weird time.
To check roadways near ballot drop boxes across the district. No one's in custody, and police don't have details on who to look out for. Additionally, listen to this. The FBI says polling places in several states have received not credible bomb threats, likely of Russian origin. Election officials in Maryland say they received at least one somewhere in that state. Again, it's not credible. No word from Virginia about any threats there. We'll
Hey, lovely.
keep monitoring. Leon?
All right, here's hoping that we can get through this evening without any incidents. That's for sure. All right, thank you.
All right. So we're going to watch some election coverage. And I'm going to chime in from time to time. You know what I mean?
Who wants held?
All right. So what you're going to see, and I'll let this play, but I'll mute it from time to time. What you're going to see is, let me angle this a little bit better. He's not in there. There we go. Yeah, so the numbers are starting to come in slowly, right? So don't get too excited about what you see, right? You may see a state that has an overwhelming amount of people for Donald Trump, or overwhelming number for Kamala Harris. But at the same time, it doesn't matter, right? It's not going to matter until late tonight. That's why I'm going so long. I've locked in. I've spent time with my wife. I've done my chores, did my work. And so I got, like I said, my bottle of Crown, my tea, my water. And we're just going to lock in with it. And this is going to be, like I said, for the next couple of hours. You know, they ain't got no commercials playing. They just like put up the whole stream. We just gonna go all night. Let's see what people got going on. CBS, what you got?
To the ballots or the vote was at risk. And in fact, the machines were zeroed out under the observance of...
Hold up. Y'all see that? Officials need to recount 31,000 ballots in Milwaukee. Already? This is what I'm saying, man. Like, these states already have issues happening. And it's the craziest stuff to see these things.
Of election observers here, but it is going to delay the results here in Milwaukee by several hours. They were originally saying 2 a.m., now perhaps as late or as early as 5 a.m. before we have a count here, at least in the Milwaukee area.
All right, Janice Shanlian, thank you for keeping us updated. We appreciate it. And when we come back live, we're going to be breaking down new exit polling data. More on who's...
So already, we have a situation in Milwaukee, a major city, where we're going to have to wait on the poll results. Already. Recounting by hand 31,000 ballots. Like I said, this is what we got to deal with. But like I said, your election coverage is right here. We're talking about things we're going to stay up for a while. I think by the time, we actually go to bed, I think we'll have a clear understanding. Of course, we won't know the finals until tomorrow sometime, but at least we'll have a clearer understanding of who is there. What's up, girl? We'll have a clear understanding. But yeah, no, like I said, in Georgia, as I mentioned earlier, we had and I'll pull up real fast. In our county in Atlanta, we had bomb threats.
And earlier today, unfortunately, we did have 5 non-credible bomb threats that were reported, leading to a temporary evacuation of 2 locations for approximately 30 minutes each. Thankfully, these locations are now operational again, and all polling sites are secure with active security presence. We are also working to obtain a court order to extend the hours of the two affected locations, ensure that every voter has the opportunity to participate. Outside of these brief interruptions, Election Day has been quiet with minimal issues reported, and we remain prepared to address any misinformation or additional disruptions to ensure a smooth experience for all voters today.
Were both of those locations in South Fulton?
Yes, they're actually in Union City.
Okay. So for those who don't know, Fulton County is where Atlanta is, right? So I live in Fulton County. Now, where did this take place? Like she said, in South Fulton. So that's the southern part of Fulton County, obviously, right? But it's a place y'all probably had never heard of. Union City, mostly white, you know. But they do say that a lot of these bomb threats that we have been hearing about throughout the entire country have been traced back to Russian origin. So that already shows that there's some sort of interference from Russia. It's just the nature of the business at this point.
It's Idris Darnell Community Center.
Union City is definitely white. Union City is not a black town. Union City is not a black town.
Center and C.H. Gallant School. And again, we will obtain a court order. We've been waiting for the police reports to get the exact time it was closed, and we'll extend those hours to match that time.
And you said it was just a 30 minute?
Approximately 30 minutes. So they'll stay open till like 7:30 or so. Just those two locations. Everybody else closes at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
They did do a sweep, and it was a non-credible bomb threat.
You talked about the impact this has on the other.
So Maryland, Angela Alsobrook. Oh, she kind of hot. Wait a minute. I see something now. I see the vision. Okay. 53. Let me see what this picture looking like though. Hold on. I see the vision. Okay. Let's go Maryland. That's who? That's me. Oh. Listen, y'all might be like Georgia. We don't have blacks. We have a black senator and a white senator, and we have a white governor and a black mayor. Hey, listen, Maryland, I'm with y'all, and this lovely black queen right here. I wonder what it would take. I wonder how much it costs to like actually have a race. Like you were racing for a position, not like comptroller or some shit like that. Like if you want to be mayor of your city or governor of your state, how much money would you need to raise to make that happen? Millions, maybe. Could you imagine? Hey, we raised $30 million. That's crazy. That's incredible. Oh, here we go. Hold up. Information.
Even registering with just 3%, and this to me
I didn't mean pause that.
is incredibly surprising. Only 2% of those Harris supporters say immigration is top of mind. So, state of democracy, abortion. Let's take a look here. They say abortion should be, this is a national poll now, 33% say legal in all cases, 33% say legal in most cases, 25% say illegal in most cases, only 6% says illegal in all.
Now, going back to the previous poll, right? There's something interesting. I've said this to y'all before. Immigration is not a big deal to a lot of people. Do we feel like immigration reform should happen? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Is it on our list of things that we need to watch out for and make sure that happen? No. Nobody's saying that. But the Republicans, like I mentioned before, I'm going to play this.
All cases. Not very.
And we're going to talk about this too. Republicans, as I said before, typically create an issue from nothing. Am I nervous? Yeah. Because I lived through 2016. Let me say about 2016 real quick. 2016, Republican primary. We just thought that Donald Trump was a joke. Funny guy, entertaining, come with the jabs, just funny. But one of the other guys will take over in a little bit. He kept making it through. We're like, okay, at some point, one of these actual politicians is going to win. Didn't happen. So we go to the debate. Hillary does very well. Donald Trump does what Donald Trump does. And we're like, well, it's okay. You know, we're gonna win in the long run. What happened in my mind, because I checked the data. Matter of fact, can I see vote? Let's look at something real quick. Results by year. Okay, let's see something here. Will it have the total amount? Okay, let's see what we got here. Will they give me what I need? Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is good. Let me pull y'all back in frame over here. Bam. All right, so what I want to look at is the total number of votes that have happened, right? This is from the 2008 election with Obama versus John McCain. We had 69 million Democrats, 59 million Republicans. So that's about almost 20,000 Republicans, based on Donald Trump's numbers, that didn't come out to vote. Barack Obama kills him on this, right? Let's go back. That's 2008. Let's go to 2012. A few less Democrats show up to vote, right? 65 million to 60. You following me so far? And some of y'all get where I'm going with this, okay? I don't understand people even vote Libertarian. 1.2 million people wasted their vote. But it was a little bit closer, but Mitt Romney got beat, right? Let's go 2016. I want y'all to keep the number of Democrats in mind. So we said 69, 65. It's not because less Democrats came out to vote. This is typically how many Democrats go out to vote every time. There are a couple issues that happened. In certain states, we saw a flip, a switch. We saw certain states that were battleground states, like Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, go red, right? Also, the third parties. Right here, we have about 7 million votes. 7 million votes for third parties that had no shot of winning. But people want to have this moral high ground that I can't vote for the lesser of two evils, so I'm not going to vote. Could you imagine when these 7 million votes went somewhere else, went to Donald Trump, went to Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton only lost, she didn't lose by anything. She actually won the popular vote. But in certain states, that could have flipped. That could have flipped Arizona. It could have flipped Georgia. It could have flipped Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, we were where her husband's Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton left the office with a surplus. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We're going to be totally fine here, guys. Nothing to worry about. And certain people who said, I can't vote for the lesser of two evils, they wanted to live on this moral high ground that, well, I can't do that. But they wanted to reap the benefits of living under Hillary Clinton. They just didn't want to vote for her. And so we see, even though she won the popular vote, she lost. Let's go 2020. This was the one. After 4 years of Donald Trump, we said, hey, man, we can't really do this. We can't really do this. Think about where we started. Think about where we started with the numbers. We started with Democrats at 69, which was a good year for Barack Obama. The next year was 65. The next year was 65. 20 more million Democrats pulled up. That was the key. We flipped certain states, right? Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona, all went blue. He killed Trump. And that's how it goes. That's where we started to see that change happen.
Abortion. Among women, abortion should be 69% of those polled, Lindsay, say.
This is an interesting poll right here. Let me get y'all back in frame. Amongst women, this is going to be, I think, a pivotal point in this election. As we saw from the previous data, the economy, abortion, were two of the biggest things that people are talking about. And as you can see from this poll right here, 69%, what's up, girl? 69% of women nationwide think abortion should be legal. 27% don't. Which means the previous poll we just saw basically says that the majority of people said that it should be illegal no matter what, were men. It was men voting on this. This could be the turning point which leads to a Harris victory.
It should be legal. Only 27% say it should be illegal. So, of course, as we've been talking about, this is the first national election since the overturning of Roe versus Wade. And so you see that's a very, very big number. All right, Harris voters, abortion should be legal in all cases. 34% say legal in most cases. This is really, really telling. 58% legal in all cases, 34% legal in most cases.
Also, guys, you know what we do here. We got a goal of 10,000 likes. Let's get that going, please. What else? Follow me if you're not following me. If you're new here, what else? You know, all the things. Do all the things. I appreciate y'all.
One more slide here. Now, we're looking at Trump voters. Abortion should be legal in all cases. Only 6% say legal in all cases. But this is kind of surprising. 32% say legal in most cases. 47% say illegal.
Nah, I think I honestly, truth be told, when Trump won the first time, I literally was thinking about moving to Canada. Because at that point, I had visited Toronto, and I liked Toronto. It was just expensive. At that point in life, I wasn't making that much. So I was like, I don't know. And, you know, rent might be $2,700, which again, now is like the norm. But back then, it was like, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I want to do that. So I think what it is, if Trump does win, it will be tough. MAGA will be inconsolable. Like, they will be just the worst for 4 years. On top of that, we're going to start seeing some rulings, some shady practices happen, a lot of things that aren't normal for us to see in the political atmosphere. Will it be as bad as I think? Probably, because there's no third term, right? So he's just gonna go balls to the wall because what can happen? He has immunity as president. He's gotten rid of Chevron deference with his people, his Supreme Court picks. They've gotten rid of affirmative action, which leads to the removal of race-based initiatives and funding and things like that. Okay, y'all saw the black male agenda, right? That Kamala Harris posted. Did you notice that when they said we're going to give out 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to black men and others? You saw that? That's because of what happened with the Fearless Fund, which was the fund that these two black women used to fund black-owned female businesses for entrepreneurs. Edward Bloom, as I mentioned before, he was the one that led the charge in getting affirmative action overturned, and once that happened, he sued that fund for discrimination. They settled, but ultimately they couldn't give out money based on race anymore. So that's why you see people saying, and other. So when she came out with the Latin or Hispanic male agenda, giving out 1 million loans forgivable for Latin men and others. It's kind of what happened, man.
In most cases. So under 50% when it comes to those Trump supporters. Again, this is the first national election since the overturning of Roe versus Wade. These numbers are incredibly telling. Back to you, Lindsay.
Very interesting. All right, Vlad, thank you. And our CBS News correspondents across the country are covering battleground states in this historic election. Let's go ahead and check in on North Carolina and Georgia.
There we go.
I'm Skyler Henry in Raleigh, North Carolina, where voters here recognize that it will be a razor-thin race for president in this battleground purple state. We spoke to the North Carolina Board of Elections that says that as of 10 o'clock this morning, they anticipate that voter turnout will either meet or exceed what we saw in 2020, where 75% of registered voters came out to the polls. Both the Harris and Trump campaigns say that they are confident. The Trump campaign saying that they are pleased with the GOP early vote.
Listen, Marcel, you got $26 in your account. You can move to Mexico. You know, start anew. Marcela. You know, get a little Duolingo going. Now, I will say, Spanish is not Spanish everywhere. What you learn in school, Might not fly. Might not fly.
Turnout up until this point. The Harris campaign says that they are pleased with the numbers that they have seen in the urban areas and also feel as if they've made several inroads in the suburbs. We'll see what happens when polls close tonight at 7:30.
I'm Nicole Killian in Atlanta, where there is a mix of excitement and cautious anticipation as we await the results here at a GOP watch party where state Republicans hope former President Trump flips the state, although Democrats are also confident in their ground game. Turnout at the polls has been relatively steady, but there have been a number of issues today, including a series of bomb threats in Fulton and Gwinnett counties, which are part of the Atlanta metro and some of the largest counties in the state. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger told reporters that some of these threats appear to be from Russia and were deemed not credible. Some polling locations in Georgia are extending their hours due to the disruption and other delays. Ahead of delays to be from Russia.
Oh, Michigan exit polls. I was like, wait a minute, 7% black. I thought you were talking about Georgia. I said, wait a minute now. Hold on. No, that's not possible.
And were deemed not
It's a lot of
credible.
Latinos in Michigan.
Some polling locations in Georgia are extending their hours due to the disruption and other delays. Ahead of Election Day, a record 4 million people had already voted, and many voters we spoke to believe this could come down to the wire. Both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump made nearly a dozen visits to the Peach State, which has turned into a fierce battleground with 16 electoral votes up for grabs.
Our thanks to Skylar Henry in North Carolina and Nicole Killian in Georgia. So the number to watch for, 270. Of course, that is the number needed to win the majority of electoral college votes and become the next president of the United States. Now, both the Harris and Trump campaigns have their own strategies to reach that number and see their own paths to success. CBS News' Maurice Dubois has more.
Okay, Lindsay, we are here at the Paths to Victory.
You know what's crazy? If the same amount of people pulled up, I mean, I get it, in 4 years some people died. But if the same amount of people pulled up for the 2020 election, did it go off? Hold on a second. Rewind with me. If the same 81 million people pulled up again, I mean, of course, ebb and flow, but it would be an easy win. I mean, Biden beat the hell out of Trump by a lot. I don't know. We'll see.
Tabletop, and this is the map that's going to show how the night shapes up. This is set up to show you the expectations for Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. It's expected, based on our data team, our past history, voting patterns, what we've seen over the years, this is where the election is going to start, with the red states going to Donald Trump and the blue states going to Kamala Harris. And that results in a starting point of 226 electoral votes for Kamala Harris expected and 219 for Donald Trump. That's what the data shows. That's what historical voting patterns show.
Yeah, listen, I don't care. Hold on, let me go back to the data pool. I don't care why people get to the polls, as long as they get to the polls and go against Trump. That's it. That's really it. So, oh wait, did I miss something? Hold on. All right, looking at this right here, I'm not necessarily concerned with those states, like these states that we see. Iowa was a wild card. How much is Iowa worth? We have another thing I look at here. Where is it at? Did I have it pulled up? I was too busy lusting over Angela Alsobrook. Iowa is worth 6, I think that is. Okay, so we're basically looking at Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, and Nevada. Now, we do know North Carolina's probably gonna go red. That's what we do know. Georgia's always been a toss-up. We'll see. If Pennsylvania goes blue, Georgia goes blue, that's pretty much, you know what? There's a thing, hold on. Let me show y'all something. Bloop, bloop. Here we go. I got a little chart, a little graph, right? All right, so here's what we have going so far. Currently as it stands, you start at 226. Let's say the light blues are likely, right? Likely to go there. So based on what they were looking at, Kansas is red. Let me pull this down here. So Kansas is red, Texas is red. What do we have? Some dissension. Colorado, New Mexico, blue. Colorado, Mexico. Okay. So we make New Mexico blue, not undecided. Make Virginia blue. I'm trying to make it match so we can keep this up all night. Pennsylvania's off the table. Arizona is off. Trying to make it consistent. It's the entire West Coast. New Mexico, Colorado, Alaska's red, Hawaii's blue. Yep, that's right. Georgia is gray. And what else am I missing? Oh, North Carolina. There we go. I think that's what makes it. Yep, there we go. Okay. So what we know is, let's play a game a little bit. Let's play around a little bit. So she's been going hard. I'll leave Georgia gray for a second. We'll say, what do y'all think? Nevada and Arizona. Red? Blue? I think Nevada might go blue. Arizona's a toss-up. But let's say that she gets Pennsylvania, right? Pennsylvania goes blue. She's at 245. That's so again, everything is what we know based on previous data pools. But if Arizona's going red, Arizona's red. All right, so if Pennsylvania goes blue, Arizona goes red. Got it. What about Nevada? What do you think about Nevada? What we got? What are we thinking? This is how the election should go. What are we thinking, guys? This or this? That's how it should go. Nevada blue, mixed. You can't say mixed in a presidential election. I need y'all to be definitive. Okay. Nevada blue. All right. Nevada goes blue. Listen. Okay, so we got that blue. All right, so I got excited for a fake thing that I made up. I sat up like, all right, here we, wait a minute, this is not fucking real. What am I doing? All right, but based on what we know, if Pennsylvania goes blue, Nevada goes blue, Arizona goes red, but North Carolina goes red, which it probably will, right? That's 230. Whoo! Here we, listen, okay, I didn't care about this graph when I first saw it, before I got on stream. And in the past 35 seconds of me doing this, I'm like, goddamn, it's the gambler in me. It's the gambler in me. All right, so based on what we know, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Georgia are toss-ups. It doesn't matter which one we get. You understand? It doesn't matter which one we get. Because if you get, Minnesota was a toss-up for some reason. There we go. But yeah, if we get Georgia blue, we win, right? That's if Pennsylvania and Nevada go blue. If Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Georgia go blue, it's over. Is it frozen? No, it shouldn't be. If okay, put Georgia back gray. If Michigan goes blue, it's over, right? All we really need, I have North Carolina as blue. I'm tripping. Oh no, Michigan is red. There we go. Michigan's red. There we go. But if Michigan, North Carolina's blue. If Michigan goes blue and Wisconsin goes blue, it's over. Right? That's if Pennsylvania, Nevada, Michigan, and Wisconsin go blue. What have they done in history? Now I'm invested. Now I'm very invested. Oh, here we go. Let's look what happened last time. So we had, again, Michigan and Wisconsin were blue. So everything that I said was the case except for Arizona. She has way more pathways than Trump. Way more. Obama got to hit the block. Splashcast was good, bro. Obama got to hit the block. Obama got to hit the block. Listen, Mr. President, roll them motherfucking sleeves up. You think Cali is going blue? Do I think Cali's going blue? California? Yes. Yes. This is from last election. Cali is definitely blue. Are you right? Yes. So if we look at the data points from the last time, unless Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin are pissed off, no, not Minnesota, because that's where Tim Walz is from. The pathways for Kamala look really good. I'm not gonna hold you. Let's say she loses Nevada and Arizona. She loses Nevada and Arizona, it's still over. As long as, matter of fact, oh, my bad. I gotta figure out how to scale this thing right so I can at least, oh wait, no, because it's a rectangle. That might work. We really don't need the West Coast. If I'm being honest, we really don't need the West Coast. We really could just do Nevada, Arizona, let that go to Trump. And if we get Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, it's over. We don't even need Georgia, to be honest with you. Yeah. Because, again, Georgia went blue last time. We might not go blue this time. That's cool. Yeah. If it holds true, we win. Because, again, Biden killed her. We need all we can get. I don't necessarily agree with that. If you take Texas, it's a wrap. Hold on, let's go back. This is the, wait a minute, wait. Y'all had 38 electoral votes? How did y'all get 2 more electoral votes? That's crazy. That's crazy. But let's say, geez, that looks crazy. Texas goes blue, she kills it. It would be the biggest flip in history. In history, if Texas went blue in this election. And I'm not even counting Georgia. Texas ain't go. I know. That's Marcel being crazy. He probably at Target, lost in the sauce. Put it back red. Put it back red. Did I pause this? Oh, damn. We way behind.
Of 226 electoral votes for Kamala Harris.
Fuck it. So, we have the, I'd be America if North Carolina did. Nah, we don't need North Carolina. We don't need North Carolina. We don't need North Carolina. We don't need Ohio. We don't need Nevada or Arizona. All we really need is Pennsylvania. Let me go back to his map. Yeah. Based on the map that you can kind of see, all we need of the 7 battleground states is 3. All we need is the Midwest, and that's it. It's over. It's over. If everybody votes the way they typically do, and we get those 3, it's over. Trump would need to, if Trump gets Pennsylvania, though, it's over. Assuming he gets these 2. Assuming he gets Nevada and Arizona, it's over. Pennsylvania might be the key. Anyway.
Harris expected, and 219 for Donald Trump. That's what the data shows. That's what historical voting patterns show. That's where we will begin. And what that does is that leaves 7 battleground states up for grabs. So 93 electoral votes up for grabs for the candidates. And here's what they're looking at. Let's say we're Donald Trump. The Trump team is hoping desperately to flip Georgia. This would be their easiest path to victory. Remember, Joe Biden took it by 12,000 votes or less. And then to hold on to North Carolina. Trump won North Carolina last time around, and he would like to hold on to that. And then if they can get Pennsylvania, Donald Trump becomes the next president of the United States, right on the nose, getting 270 electoral votes.
So really, the East Coast is really where it's at. East Coast, okay. Somebody said in the chat that she has more pathways than Biden. She does. But if he gets those 3, it's over. It's over. If he gets those 3, now I'm confident. I need to know how Pennsylvania's doing. That's really what I need. How y'all feeling in Pennsylvania? That's really what I need to know. Because if she can pull off Pennsylvania, and he gets Georgia, but we get Michigan and Wisconsin, it's over. It's over. I need to do a video. That's what I need to do. But it's too late now. I'm streaming.
Now, if that's not available to Trump, let's say he doesn't get Pennsylvania, but he's able to flip Georgia, and hold on to North Carolina, he's going to be looking out west. He's going to start in Arizona for 11 electoral votes and Nevada for its 6 electoral votes. And then he's still 2 votes short, 2 electoral votes short. So that means any of these states here, let's say he doesn't get Pennsylvania, but that means he has to go to Wisconsin or Michigan, and either state will put him over the top as the next president of the United States. For Kamala Harris, the paths slightly different. The expectations or the hope for Democrats is that they duplicate what Joe Biden did back in 2020. If she is able to hold on to Pennsylvania and get the 19 electoral votes there, and Michigan, their 15 electoral votes, and Wisconsin, their 10, that brings her to 270 right on the nose.
CNN, I'm available. I'm available for remote work. I want to make that very clear, remote, because I'm not coming to nobody's office. I don't care if you even in my city. I am available at any point. What did I say? I mean, I guess it is math, but could y'all imagine his face? Hey guys, we're going to talk about a little thing right now. Now, what I want to see is Kamala Harris step it up and figure out how to get across to Congress that we need these things passed. Now, I'll be honest with you. If I'm sitting at that table with old girl, the black girl who be the cute chick, cute young lady, and somebody says, I hope your beeper don't go off to me, I'm not even Muslim, but we scrapping. That's the last episode of her show. Right then. If I was on somebody's show like that and they said something like that to me, that's the last episode, because it's not, we done. It's cut the cameras, step outside. We might not even step outside. I've been to their TV studios. It's pretty big. We can get it shaking in there. Everybody put their phones away and don't nobody talk about this no more. But we about to get it shaking. Abby Phillips, that's what it is. I haven't seen Abby stand up, but I would assume Abby is about 5'2", 5'3". Just looking at her, she not stopping nobody from arguing. I'm be honest with you. She don't have that, you know what I'm saying? Even Anderson Cooper, as goated as he is, I don't think he can stop her. You know what I'm saying? You need a voice. But I love Abby. For those who don't know, I'm a visual aids type person. Y'all seen her before. Oh, she married? Wait a second now. Let's see something here. I don't know what that man is. Nah, they got a whole family. Never mind, boys. Hold on. Let me click this one. Never mind, boys. Don't even worry about it. Can he fight? Well, hold on. I didn't see it was a little small. The picture was small when I was looking at it. He might not. He might not be able to fight. Now, the other picture hold on a second, where it at? The other picture I saw, he looked like he could fight. Let me click this. Oh, she took that one down. They ain't there no more. Honey, what you doing? Here it is. Here we go. He looked like he could fight. Oh, he looked like he could fight back in the day. I feel like that. Oh, she mad tall, but she got heels on. He might be a short king. Low key, quiet as kept. He might be a short king. But he was probably a football player back in the day. He looked like he was. So I might be wrong about her height. We talking about her height, and there's a whole presidential election going on. But ain't nothing gonna be shaking. The poll's not even closed in Georgia yet. But yeah, I'm gonna let him ride too. Listen, big dog, treat her right. A few of the chat is coming to see you. I'm gonna let you know that right now, Playboy. If she tells us anything, it's wrong. If I see any of these pictures come down, I'm gonna tell Chat, and Chat can come see about you. Sir, my man. All right, back to the coverage.
Now, if that doesn't work, how'd you like to be in the war room for either of these candidates on election night, right? If that doesn't work, Kamala Harris does have the Southern belt available to her. If she's able to hold on to Georgia, to flip North Carolina, and to grab Arizona and Nevada as well, that brings her to 275.
All right, now this motherfucker just pressing buttons. Sir, come on, man. Come on. Now you just pressing buttons, my dog. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's look at this. So this is 2020. North Carolina was red. This was 2016. North Carolina was red. 2012, red. 2008, blue. maybe. I mean, that was 12 years ago, but you know, maybe a lot of those people are still alive. We'll see.
She becomes president of the United States. So you see a couple of very distinctive paths. The road is not easy. It's long and difficult. It's been a long campaign, but it's going to end soon. And that's where we're going to show you how this shakes out on election night. So that's the story here from the Paths to Victory tabletop. We'll see you on election night, Vlad.
All right, Maurice Dubois for us. So you can see there.
Well, see, the other part of this too that I talk about is people's misplaced anger, right? They blame Biden for a lot of things that are not Biden's fault, and that's on the Democrats and their messaging on how terrible it's been, right? We know inflation was not Biden's fault. There was a whole thing that happened. You know what I'm saying? And they act as though it's his fault for it. And instead of being like, hey, dumbasses, this was not my fault. I had nothing to do with this. I inherited this inflation from what you just went through. We all were indoors with masks on. What are we talking about? The other thing is the cost going up of things, right? We know that's predatory. It had a lot to do with supply chain and logistics. However, once that started to subside, the prices were still the same. People still think inflation is high, you know? Listen, it's tough. Do you think that? Marjorie Taylor. I'm about to say, who is MJT? You mean Marjorie Taylor Greene? But Marjorie Taylor Greene probably gonna win her spot. You gotta think what she is though. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, 14th Georgia Circuit Court. What the fuck is that? Where even is that? Sean Harris is their person. I think he ran against her before, actually. Yeah, like the 14th district is out there in like rural ass Georgia. Like, we don't even know where it is on the map, bro. Like, to be honest with you, she's probably gonna win again. Now, the Ted Cruz race is actually gonna be pretty good. Let me see something here. They still have 2 hours left. Actually, they have almost an hour left. Ted Brown got to get about it. You know what? Maybe, listen. All right, here's what we got to hope. Here's what we got to hope. We have to hope that Texans go to the polls drunk. Hear me? Hold up. Hear me out. If they go to the polls drunk, Ted Cruz and Ted Brown switch. You follow me? If they switch, we might see Ted Cruz go to battle there. I want Ted Cruz to be out of a job so bad. Sir, I live in Georgia. I don't know where the 14th Circuit Court is. Do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene is from anywhere in Metro Atlanta with all these black folks? No. We don't know where that shit is. Atlanta. This is why I tell people. Georgia is really Atlanta. Atlanta is pretty much everything. And if I had to equate Georgia to anything, it's like The Walking Dead, right? The safe zone is 285. Let me pull up the map. Hold on, let me get some visual aids. Get some visual aids going here. Now, and my Georgia people can attest. You see this blue line surrounding Atlanta. We look at that. This is what's called ITP, OTP. In the perimeter, out the perimeter. Anything outside this blue line, you're on your own. Now, I am from, and you can't see my mouse because I am on Streamlabs, but I live in the Lithonia area, so that's bottom right, as you can see. I'm actually from Ellenwood, too. Ellenwood, Georgia, but that's like white Ellenwood. I'm more the black side, so I'm like towards the blue line. Once you go outside this blue line, you're on your own, champ. You're on your own. You're not in the safety of black people anymore. Union City, where the bomb threats happened, see how it's south by Riverdale, Waka Flocka, Riverdale, that right there. College Park, East Point. So another fun fact for you people that are not from Georgia, when we say we're from Atlanta, we're not from Atlanta. Sorry. Cat's out the bag. You know what I mean? Cat's out the bag. We say Atlanta because you all probably aren't going to know any other place that we say. For me, though, I'm from Decatur. Y'all know what Decatur is, straight from the deck. I'm from Decatur. I can say Decatur and it'd be fine. When you start naming places like East Point, College Park, you don't know where that is. You're like, I mean, I heard of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I moved to Ellenwood when I was like maybe like 14, something like that. But that's still, it's like right on the edge of Decatur, you know?
Couple of paths for both candidates to 270.
Helps my visual brain
It
to
really
see.
does. Very cool board
Yeah.
that. So how does either party analyze all of this information? We're going to ask our strategist who will join us at the table. That's coming up. Stick around.
I'm just over today. I'm over this whole election, like I'm sure the rest of America is. And that's really it, just for it to be over with. There's not anything I'm anxious about. I mean, it is what it is.
We say this every election cycle. You ever notice that? I want this to be over. Fam. Every 4 years, we know we're gonna get bombarded with a bunch of stuff. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not U.S. House of Representatives for College Park. That would be the most insane shit ever. I need you to understand. That. That's crazy. MTG is not that. But every 4 years we get bombarded with ads. We know this is how it goes. The absolute second the election is over, you will never see another ad. Unless there's a runoff. But you will never see another ad for anything. This is done. Cut the money off.
From 1770.
All right, let's go ahead and skip that because we're behind.
The best interviews.
And
we
we're back.
are here in our New York City studio, Studio 57, at the CBS News Broadcast Center for our America Decides Election Night Special. First polls, Lindsay, are going to close in just about 30 minutes.
Woo.
That includes a number of states, including the battleground state of Georgia, a state that President Biden carried by just over 11,000 votes back in 2020.
Let's bring in our political panel, Chuck Rocha and Matt Gorman. Chuck is a Democratic strategist who formerly served as a senior advisor for Senator Bernie Sanders' 2016 and 2020 presidential campaigns. Matt is a Republican strategist who served as a senior communications advisor for Senator Tim Scott's presidential campaign. Thank you both so much for being here.
I'm sorry, does that man have a cowboy hat? See, I can't even look down at my phone to text somebody without some crazy, goofy shit happening on TV. That man have on a cowboy hat. Like, Texas people want you to know they're from Texas so bad, bro. And the thing is, them Longhorns, they be in, like, certain areas, bro. They're not, like, everywhere. Everybody don't have a Longhorn outside their neighborhood.
Here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All right, so I don't know if you guys were watching Maurice Dubois at that very cool board where he sort of showed the two different paths for both candidates, 270. If you go by what Maurice showed, which is that if Vice President Harris is able to carry the state of Pennsylvania, and she's able to either flip North Carolina or Georgia to blue, then, and she keeps that blue wall in the Midwest, that path to 270 is relatively easy. Same for Trump. If he picks up North Carolina, picks up Georgia, keeps Pennsylvania, he's at 270. How do you guys see it happening?
These things aren't in a vacuum, right? If you win Pennsylvania, for instance, you're suddenly not going to lose another random state that you expect to win, right? So
what you mean by that is that if you win Pennsylvania, are you saying then that you're going to win those other states in the Midwest?
You have a better chance than not, right? Because a lot of this stuff doesn't move in isolation. A lot of things move, as we're seeing with these exit polls, in concert, right? So, for example, if Kamala Harris was to win North Carolina and or Georgia, she should be the strong favorite in Pennsylvania, and vice versa for Trump a little bit too. So that's the way I'm looking at it. But more than anything else, Pennsylvania gives you optionality as you go to the electoral map.
And you're not going to know right away. You're going to know North Carolina tonight, probably. You're probably going to know Georgia tonight. You're probably not going to know Pennsylvania if it's close for a couple of days, just because of how, for everybody at home, everybody counts their votes a little bit different. Some of them are opening their ballots now. In Florida, they've been opening ballots for a week and a half. Like, every state's a little different. But Matt makes a great point. If you see that inertia, and it's better to win than not, because if you win that, it don't mean that she's going to, if she wins Pennsylvania, doesn't mean that Donald Trump's going to win Michigan by 5. He could, but it probably means she does pretty good in Michigan and Wisconsin. Well, vice versa, though, to give credit. Same with Trump.
So, Matt, earlier I had asked Representative Byron Donalds about the exit.
Am I on all night? Bro, I'm here. Like, if y'all got to leave out and come back, cool. I'm not even looking at my count. You notice I ain't said nothing about, hey, we got to get them likes up. I ain't saying nothing about that. If it's just me and 2 people, we're going to be here till 12 midnight. At which point I'm going home to go to sleep. Not going home. But check back in. I'll be here periodically. You know, send it to a person, tell a friend, like all that good stuff. If you're not following me, give me a follow. But we're gonna be watching this stuff, man. I'm here.
Exit polls and what he was going to be watching for. And he said he was specifically going to be looking at urban voter turnout. Can you explain why, and is that also something that you're looking at?
Sure. I think urban voter turnout, specifically for African-American men, Latino men, have been a large part of the Trump campaign's effort, right? They want what they call low propensity.
I do live in Georgia. And, you know, we went blue last election. I don't know. Got a lot of dumbasses. But there are a lot of issues that people really care about here. You know, the economy is one, but people don't know how the economy works. They don't look at the things that they need to look at to understand how the economy works. So we're just going to say they don't know shit about that. Abortion rights is definitely a major one. Definitely a major one. Immigration, the way you heard of immigration being talked about, you would think that was a top 3 concern for a lot of people. But if you're new here, we just looked at the actual data. It's number 5 out of 5. People don't... I work in data analytics. Am I worried about a person that immigrated from Honduras taking my job? What are you talking? No, I don't care about that. Let them work. How's shit gonna get done? I'm looking at 2 apartment complexes being built right across the street from me. You think it's Ted working on that thing? No. Ted don't know how to do nothing.
The voters, your voters that don't often turn out every year for elections. They maybe do every 1 of 4 or 2 of 4. But here's the thing. I think I tend to take exit polls with a grain of salt. I think they're better in historical context when looking at issues. But for nights like tonight, it's easy to latch onto when there's not a lot of news going on. But it's hard, I think, to really get a sense of where this is fully going with just exit polls.
Let me give you 3 congressional seats to watch tonight as the polls close that are on Eastern Standard Time. They have nothing to do with the presidential. That'll tell you a lot. First is the Northern District of Maine, which is Maine 2. It's everything north of Portland. All of that up there. And it's represented by Democrat, Trump district. Let me take you to Pennsylvania 8, another Democrat, Trump district, and take you to Ohio 9, another Democratic congressional seat. All 3 of these are congressional seats that Trump won that are represented by a Democrat. If a Democrat loses in any of those 3, it could be a good night for Donald Trump.
Before we wrap this up, let me get a bird's eye view about the state of elections in the United States. A buddy of mine texted me something that I thought was kind of amusing, where he said, look, over the last 20 years, we get the results. You know, we're all fairly of a certain age. We remember getting the results by 11, 12, or 1 a.m. In most years. Since COVID, we've seen this dragging out, and that has sown some of that distrust in our elections process. Is it frustrating for you with your clients? Let me just get your thoughts.
No, I mean, I looked what Florida did. You mentioned Florida earlier. I used to work for Jeb Bush. After the mess in 2000, they reformed the laws, and 95% of the vote in 2022 was counted by 9:30 Eastern time in Florida. And that's with early voting, it's access. You can count it quick and count it securely and efficiently without it taking days and if not weeks, like in some states.
It's the same. Like, you should be able to do this quickly, and they prove in Florida that you can do this quickly. But not everybody at home understands early vote, when they open, when they don't open. And then when you have candidates up there saying that there could be things going on, it makes people, because they just don't have every day to listen.
Right.
Love that.
Chuck Rocha and Matt Gorman, thank you both so much. That does it for our America Decides Election Night special. I'm Lindsay Reiser.
I'm Vladimir G. Coming up next, the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
The most important election. Like, we all have to go out there and vote.
Tonight, one of the most consequential elections in American history, and the first polls are about to close.
I am excited, very thrilled that it's over.
It'll be nice to finally put this behind us and move forward as a country.
We're monitoring election security across the country as we settle in for a long night of results.
It looks like we have a very substantial lead.
Votes out here. Gotta talk to voters.
Could turnout be historic? We're in the battleground states. What brought voters to the polls?
The abortion access is a big deal. Definitely the economy.
A special edition of the CBS Evening News, live from our election headquarters, starts now. Good evening, I'm Norah O'Donnell, and thank you for joining us as America Decides on this election night 2024. Right now, we're kicking off what will be a long night of extensive coverage and analysis here at our election headquarters in New York City's Times Square. The first polls are closing in 30 minutes from now as Americans cast their ballots for who will be the next President of the United States. Vice President Kamala Harris is spending election night at her alma mater, Howard University in Washington, D.C. Former President Donald Trump is at his Palm Beach, Florida resort, Mar-a-Lago. We could see record turnout with long lines from coast to coast today. Secretaries of State in those battlegrounds of Michigan and Georgia saying tonight they expect that their states will have their highest turnout ever. And so far, the process is mostly going smoothly with a few isolated problems, as is normal,